Welcome back to the channel. I have a fun video for you today. A little quick one, honestly. This is a fast video, but Jared and I were playing some games with new Edge of Eternities cards. We have a couple of cards that I think are outlier power level in terms of really amplifying already pretty powerful decks, and if you're an entrenched player, you'll probably know the ones I'm referring to, but there were two cards that were printed that are particularly good in the artifact combo decks. This is Tezzeret, Cruel Captain, and Scour for Scrap. These two new pretty powerful cards from Edge of Eternities. So Jared and I decided to play Artifact Combo versus Artifact Combo. So Jared's playing Paradox Engine combo, and I'm playing Time Vault. That matchup, it ends up being pretty interesting, but it could be a little lopsided, and we were trying to see whether any of these new cards helped with that. Tezzeret in particular is the kind of card that Paradox Academy really wants for those control matchups. It's another proactive thing to do early that can put pressure on your opponent in a different way that isn't a combo way, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, so they're interesting games. A little quick video, just one set. And I'm going to quickly do a deck tech for my version of Time Vault. Sorry, Jared's playing very stock Paradox Academy, so we actually probably won't put a deck tech in for that one. We'll add a deck list, but it's not especially different. It's just Paradox Academy plus Tezzeret, Cruel Captain, and I think maybe one or two other new cards. But for me, I played what I think is my preferred version of the Time Vault deck, which is blue-white. And I know that the probably undeniably most successful version of the deck currently is Bant. And personally, I have tried that list and have just not found that it clicks with me. I find that the mana base sometimes can be a little bit questionable, and I also prefer to have more interaction with my deck and fewer artifacts. That deck is pretty heavy on mana, and is kind of looking to turbo out the Time Vault plan with things like Urza Saga, and it's just not the way that I like playing the deck. So I brewed this deck up a little while ago, and I've been slowly updating it. This is blue-white Time Vault, and the basic idea here is that you are playing Time Vault combo. You've got, you know, the usual Time Vault enablers. You've got Voltaic Servant. You've got the keys. You now have Tezzeret, Cruel Captain, which is pretty exciting. Teferi, who slows the sunset, and Tezzeret. So lots of ways to untap Time Vault. You just keep getting more of those, which is pretty exciting. And then you've got your usual free Time Vault tutors in the form of Tribute Mage. Delivery Moogle is a new one from Final Fantasy that I've been pretty impressed with so far. The fact that it regrows an artifact if you want it to is sneaky relevant, and it gives you more outs to situations where maybe your Time Vault gets discarded. It's not necessarily the end of the world in this list anyway, but I think it's the kind of thing that you like having access to. Additionally, like I said, you've got your kind of usual smattering of untappers. I'm playing some fast mana, just the talismans. It can be good to have a little bit of extra mana, like these tutors like Whir of Invention that are free, cost a lot of mana. Same thing with the new card Scour for Scrap. Like it is expensive, but I think it is worth it. Surrounding this shell, though, instead of playing a more combo-heavy kind of like Urza Saga package where I'm really looking to turbo out the combo, I've got a sort of pseudo blue-white control package. So my other 3 points are Mystical Tutor here, and then I've got Intuition and Gifts as my other 2 points. So Intuition, or Gifts Ungiven, Intuition. And the reason I like this is, one, playing Mystical Tutor allows you access to Terminus, which I think is a pretty powerful way to fight back against the aggro and mid-range decks, which are historically the things that I think you have some of the harder times with playing Time Vault, like especially against the white-placed mid-range decks that are playing a bunch of hate bears. Having access to something like Terminus, and I'm even stretching for Dam as well, I think it's really good, and I'm broadly a fan of this plan. And then additionally, Gifts Ungiven and Intuition are one-card combos with Time Vault. So what you can do with Intuition is you can get a key, the Time Vault, and Savine's Reclamation, and for those wondering, when your opponent does that, you are supposed to give them Time Vault to hand, and then you're supposed to put Reclamation plus Untapper into the graveyard. I think you can maybe put Untapper into hand and put the Time Vault plus the Reclamation into the graveyard. Maybe that's better. But either way, that's the best, and that does end up costing 7 mana to win the game. Although if they can find a way to put another untapper in the graveyard, they can kill you for 5. And same thing with gifts. You are getting 2 untappers plus Savine's Reclamation plus gifts, or plus Time Vault. Sorry, and in that context, it's the same thing. You're likely going to end up with an 2 untappers in hand and the Reclamation plus the Time Vault in the graveyard. And obviously, you're not necessarily winning the turn after you do this like every time because it's an expensive play. But what the nice thing about it is you can play the untapper on one turn, and then on the next turn you can get the Reclamation back from the graveyard and win the game that way. So I like having access to this way to kind of double tutor very quickly and effectively. I think that it is a really potent thing that you can be doing with Time Vault. And I find that this shell is better situated for supporting. I think that when I've been playing the BAMP version, I just end up in these spots where if my draw doesn't come together to do something like pretty proactive and degenerate, I just lose the game. Whereas this deck is much better set up to kind of grind, play like a bit more of a fair game. I have cut some of the fair cards that were in this deck. Like there was a time where I had like Murktide Regent in this deck, and I was like potentially planning to like attack for lethal damage. And I'm not planning to do that most of the time anymore, but you still can technically. Like if you get an Urza Lord High Artificer going or something like that, like it's still possible. But yeah, anyway, so this is my take on Time Vault. I am pretty excited to play more of it and to continue to develop it more. I think there's definitely more things that I could do to improve it. Like even just looking at the list now, like I'm looking at this Urza's Bauble or this Mishra's Bauble, thinking like this probably could be something else, and maybe I will look into replacing that. But yeah, without further ado, I hope you enjoy the games. They were fun to play, and I think they do showcase the power of these decks. And obviously these are decks that have gotten big upgrades with Edge of Eternity, so we wanted to show them off. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the games, and we'll see you in the next one.
I'm definitely lost the die roll, but of course.
Okay, so in game 1 of my match against Jer, and this hand looks great. So Jer and I just decided to play some spiky games today. We're playing decks that we would be registering in tournaments if we were trying to win. And one of the ones that I think got a big boost from this set is Time Vault. Time Vault got 3 pretty good cards in Consult the Star Charts, Tezzeret, Cruel Captain, and Scour for Scrap. This hand is very reasonable. I'm going to have a Consider on turn 1 into play a Talisman into Intuition for potentially the win on turn 3. So yeah, looking strong. I'm going to keep and be pretty happy about this. Hello.
Hello.
I'm a simple man. I'll play a simple island.
Huh. Oh, weird. I have 101 cards. Awkward.
It's funny. You and I were talking about Star Wars Unlimited before this recording session, but I played in my local tournament this week and accidentally registered 57, and for reference, 50 is minimum deck size in that game. So just the old 7 cards over minimum special.
Indeed.
Okay, I mean this card is decent, but is it worth keeping? Yeah, actually I think it's good enough. I'll keep it. Ooh, awkward. All right, I'll play this Talisman of Curiosity, and I'll pass.
Excellent.
Who's the artifact deck now?
We have the same number of artifacts.
Yeah, no, I realized.
Allow me to reassert artifact dominance.
All right, I accept. No,
excellent.
No spell snare.
Perfect.
All right.
Spell snare on the down tick. Not a lot of people spell snare believers anymore.
No.
The YOLO Brainstorm EOT.
It's like semi-YOLO.
It's either okay. I was like, it's either quite bad or quite good for me.
Yeah. I will accept Sensei's Divining Top.
Very interesting. This one, then this one, and I think I want this one.
All right. I'm like mildly terrified. Yeah.
Yeah.
I accept.
Okay. Who's the manifold key deck now?
Probably me, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you can go.
Interesting. I will cast Intuition targeting you.
I see. Uh, uh, is that worth it?
I imagine there's a counterspell on your side. I don't know why else you would have made this play, but okay. Well, I will get the old time vault. I will get. I will get. What else am I getting here? I guess I'll get Voltaic Servant. Actually, no, that's wrong. Sorry. Let's not do that. Let's get. Oh, can I unselect? Yeah, okay. Man, resolving these with 100 card decks is
Yeah.
it requires some
Yeah.
amount of labor. And
I mean, it does in paper as well.
Yeah, but in paper there's not like IRL lag as such.
Like, ironically, I think I'm just supposed to give you Time Vault. Because that is the most mana intensive.
Yep. I will take it. This is where I cast like a discard spell. My own end step. I will get another island.
Seems unlikely to me, but not outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah. I will say go.
Okay.
And now we get to find out what trick you had up your sleeve. Is it just make some mana with or make some extra cards? Okay, it's Brain Surge. That Brain Surge is fine.
I see.
Paradox doesn't play very many counter spells, but I thought there was a chance you had one. I guess maybe you were thinking about Brain Surging in response to my intuition.
I also knew some of the cards on top of your library.
Did you?
Yeah, I have a Sensei's Divining Top in play.
Oh, you knew cards on top of your library.
Yeah, exactly.
You said my library. Oh. I was like, what? Right. Am I streaming instead of recording
my
or
library.
Something? Yeah. The life gain on Inventors Fair, not as relevant. Yeah, not as relevant as it perhaps is in other matchups. Yep, the old crop rotation is fine. Crop rot in upkeep.
I didn't think this all the way through.
The classic, I wasn't prepared for this to resolve.
Yeah, partially not.
Yep, I figured that's what we were getting, but
yeah, is indeed. All right, let's draw.
Yeah. So you have 5-6 mana currently. Still 6 mana. That's mana neutral. Yep, Banamo makes sense.
Yep.
To untap Academy.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay, doing it now. Makes sense. Four, 5, 6 mana still.
Need to figure out what my plan is.
You want to def it and talk through your line?
No,
Okay.
I don't think that'll help.
Okay. Stock up, eh? Sure. I don't love stock up, but I don't think I have a lot of choice. This card's great, by the way. Sneakily, like the best card from Aether Drift, like by a lot.
Yeah, it is quite good.
Has just been like turbo high impact in like a bunch of formats too.
This is once again not ideal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sensei's top activation. Yeah, stock up as clear the top of my library, not an especially exciting play to have to make. Yep. Not even manifold keying. Alright, this is what's going to get me to pull the trigger on the counterspell in my hand. I'm going to lose focus this.
Okay.
No mana vault with manifold key, please.
Tough but fair.
Just a little bit too much beta. Okay, well, I'll play this Caracas, and I will play this Time Vault.
Yep.
Now I'm going to try to win the game. I've got this Teferi who slows the sunset.
Good enough.
All right, perfect.
Mostly how that matchup's supposed to go, I think.
Yeah, like I have to like survive, and then you're low enough interaction that if I'm able to assemble the combo, it's like pretty hard for you to interact.
Yeah, I'm just a density deck that plays like the bare minimum of interaction, and you're like more in the hybrid control.
Mm-hmm. But my deck has
space.
the problem where like I'm not necessarily, it's not necessarily as easy for me to find the ways to win.
Yeah, like intuition is one of your better cards in this matchup
It's
for
why
sure.
I really like the blue-white version specifically, like, or I guess I shouldn't say necessarily the blue-white version, but I really like my point spread. Like, we can talk about it afterwards a little bit, but I think gifts and intuition are just like so good in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely talk about my hand. Okay, so this hand is a heater. It has Force of Negation, which is great. Back to Basics is okay, although ideally it's not going to come to that. And it has the Natural Time Vault, which whenever you draw the Natural Time Vault as the Time Vault deck, you're very happy. Only issue I see is that it doesn't have a super fast path to an untapper. The best I can see is some kind of Mystical Tutor route there. But I am not going to be able to do that on turn 3, I don't believe. I don't think there's something I can tutor for on 3 that gets me to an untapper, but I'm going to keep anyway. I'm likely pitching this back to basics to the Force of Negation if I have to, and I'll just use this Windswept Heath to get the Meticulous Archive. It is currently my game plan. Subject to change, though. Okay, keep. I'll wait for Jared to undeafen before saying hello. The nice thing about having Force of Negation is that insulates me against like the really degenerate starts that his deck can have, right? Like we saw last game with Mana Vault, where if that's something that happens on turn 1, it's like potentially pretty devastating. Ah, I see you've played the fundamentally unbalanced Mistrise Village.
I don't think we should be saying things like that about perfectly reasonable cards, but
yeah, it's for those wondering, it is a bit of a running joke. There was a post on the Discord about Mistrise being unfair that I think it's probably not unfair, but it is very good in your deck. I will say, like your deck is the shell where this card is definitely at its best.
Yeah, that I can agree with.
Signet, I accept.
But like pointing this card is a bit laughable to me.
Yeah, I would agree. Let's go for a Meticulous Archive. Yep, can keep that one on top. I have one of the really broken feeling Time Vault hands where you have Time Vault in the top 8 cards of your deck.
I see.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Quite good. Yeah, this deck looks unbeatable when this happens. Like if you could just put Time Vault in your opening hand every time, obviously, like this deck is unbeatable. But
I mean, it's not unbeatable. It's just very like there are lots of decks where you can't just like on turn 2 YOLO a Time Vault.
Yeah, just run it out.
Where it's like incredibly risky to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But alas, this is not one of them.
All right, yeah. The Forensic Gadgeteer is okay.
But yeah, like other combo decks is probably the worst matchup generally for Paradox, unless you're like you can play a toolbox if you want to, because you have so many artifact tutors. So like if there's a Time Vault player in your meta, you could play stuff like Disrupting Flute or Pithing Needle or any of the other such things. But yeah. All right, fun and interactive games.
Yeah, this was a pretty brutal opening hand for me, where it's just like I drew the Enlightened Tutor. My opening hand didn't have the Enlightened Tutor, but just like in this matchup, especially like when you start with Vault in hand against another uninteractive deck, like it's just like so insane. Like because that's the one issue the Time Vault deck theoretically has into the other fast combo decks, is like sometimes your combo is like quote unquote like it's like harder to enable in some ways, but obviously when you just naturally draw the most important combo piece in your deck, it's tough.
Yeah.
To briefly touch on, so my point spread, and I think it's decently different from what other people do play. So my spread is I play Vault for 6, and then I have both Gifts and Intuition, and then my last 2 points are Mystical Tutor, and what's my last point? I always forget. Transmute Artifact, I think. Is that one still a point?
No, that's on 0.
In that case, I don't remember what my last point is. We'll figure it out eventually.
Dig Through Time?
No, I'm not playing that one. I think that one's too slow. I had Balance for a while, but I had to cut that one because it
Balance seems pretty good in the deck. Ancient Tomb, maybe?
No, I don't think so.
Urza Saga?
I don't believe in those cards as one point. Well, someone in the comments will probably tell me what my one pointer is.
I mean, they'll have your deck list, which I'm sure you could just pull up your deck list and Mox Field will tell you what your points are. But
yeah, that's fair. Maybe that's the word. Maybe that's the approach. What's my last point? Oh no, sorry. Time Vault's just 7. We're fools. Oh. We're just Time Vault to 6 though. Obviously, that's what needs to be here. But yeah, so I really like Mysticals. I think the thing that I'm doing that's like relatively different. Like I see people playing the Time Vault deck with like Urza Saga and Mana Vault in their point spreads, and I think you just like want to leverage the fact that, like especially with Savine's Reclamation, that Gifts Ungiven and Intuition are just 1-card combos. Like they're so insane.
Yeah.
Like it,
and so you probably have Terminus in your deck then too, right?
Yes, yeah. So I'm Mystical Link for Terminus as well. Exactly.
That makes That does a pretty good balance impression.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And like, you know, Spell Seeker is still 0 points, so like you get to play like Seeker for Dam, as well as another like way to get to Wrath, and I get to play Consult the Star Charts now. I guess a little bit disappointingly, we saw what, 0 new cards in that game.
Yeah, when they last 3 turns, we're not going to get to see as many cards. But
All right.
yeah.
Well, maybe we'll run it back and play another one. We'll see. You might get 2 matches, or maybe you'll get a different match at another time. But yeah, let us know if you want to see more of these kinds of decks. Obviously, like I said in my intro, these are decks that I think Jared and I feel are probably relatively aided by some of the new cards that came out. And yeah, I in particular, I'm pretty excited about this Blue White Time Vault deck. I think Time Vault is quite good after getting another couple of powerful upgrades.
Mm-hmm. Definitely look good there.
All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.